A message must lie within. What fate did the Emperor foresee?
Greetings and citations, everyone. We've recently been outright told what's coming next for War Within's lineup. For the newly named minor patch of the Legacy of Arathor, and it has quite a lot of things in it that I'm very excited for. Specifically, the new storytelling feature of Lorewalking, which is essentially the beloved narrator, Lorewalker Cho, making yet another return, narrating for you in a quest chain where you either recount old events yourself or play through it in the eyes of the lore character heavily involved. Not only do I think this appeals to me, I'll gush more on this as time goes on, but I also just think this has some major merits to be hailed as something that can be used to tell stories of old and new in a variety of ways. Hopefully, I'm not overhyping it too much, but I do have to state how much this feature could not just turn me around on War Within, but WoW's future as a whole if this sticks around for the rest of Warcraft's time. I'll further add that it's not the only thing in the Legacy of Arathor that excites me, but this is a core part of it too. The stuff and story involved for the Legacy of Arathor probably deserves a video of its very own, really. But we'll get into that in another day. Suffice to say though, Legacy of Arathor in many ways is striking at that itch that I've been missing since Dragonflight concluded, where it feels like they're actually doing something with the story that I very much like. Okay, that might be downplaying it, actually. Lorewalking is very much a feature that I've wanted them to do for a very long while now, for a few reasons. Cho, whom I immensely enjoyed in Mr. Pandaria, notably for telling us on an event, race, or character through narration and images, is back yet again to do all of that and more. Here, he's not only telling us a story and giving us a rundown on the story, but we're also playing as the character in an almost scenario-like setting at times. Which, these kinds of quests have always existed in the game, but those are also some of my most favorite quests as well. Getting the chance to play as Illidan, Arthas, or Chen Stormstout, or etc., I've always loved those kinds of quests, and I'm glad to see them doing them more in this sort of cadence, in this sort of way, with Lorewalker Cho's narration over on top of it. It's like a great combination of the two. Some of it is a recap of old lore and also some old quests, but I'm fine with that, as not everyone has an insane memory when it comes to WoW's lore, as I, or some others might. It's a nice way to tease what's to come too. Most importantly though, I'm glad that they're doing it with fan favorites like Arthas as well. Yes, they are covering Arthas once again here. While Arthas has no current relevance to the story and his tale came to an end a long time ago, them doing Arthas in the first round of these kinds of quests is proof that they're at least open to the idea of covering stories of older characters who've got no current holds to the expansion or plot. And Arthas is quite literally the definition of a fan favorite too. Meaning we can get maybe some stories on some other fan favorites, like Broxagar maybe taking on Sargeras, Rexxar helping find Durotar and taking on Dalen, and Thrall going from a gladiator to the leader of the Horde. You could also do something like with Vol'jin and his rise and, you know, new ranking or new placement as a Loa. Again, there's so many stories that they could tell with so many characters. That's just a list of my own favorites, but that's just the gist of it all. They're also using it as a means to reveal new lore too. New reveals on characters like Xal'atath, whom is a very mysterious character with a long past. Expanding on what we already knew, but playing out the events for ourselves in the past. We finally get to see her containment during the peak of the Black Empire, the reason for said containment against the old gods, and the method on how exactly she got out in the first place, perhaps even teasing the certain return of a certain somebody that we've talked about prior about not truly being dead. Wink wink wink. They're also using it to expand on the ethereals. It's almost like they're hinting at something there. I wonder what that could be. Regardless, I think that if they continue to use Lorewalking as a means to tell the lore on characters and events integral to the future and the past of Warcraft, or not relevant at all, it'll be a hit. A major, major hit even. So I hope we see it used more within both the World Soul Saga and beyond. It checks all the boxes of what I want. Lorewalker Cho invoking those memories of hearing him talk about Pandaria lore again, except this time it's not just Pandaria lore, but other lore too. Getting to play as a lore character, getting a recap or new lore entirely through said event. I'm just absolutely excited about this one, and I really, really, really hope they plan to use it some more and add even more fan favorites with it. Look, if you can beat the dead horse that is Arthas, who also owns a dead horse, I think you can absolutely use it to tell other stories for other characters for us to play as. But what are your guys' thoughts on Lorewalking? Are you excited as I am? Do you also want to see them expand on it and use it further? There's already hints of them doing exactly that for Midnight for a story on the Elves apparently, so hey, looking forward to that. Tell me what sort of characters and stories you'd want Lorewalker Cho to go on about. I'd love to hear them. Give them some examples. Push them to do Rexar. That's our goal here. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to hear from me and my community, feel free to join us in our Discord, or if you like me enough, please support me on my Patreon, like these amazing folks here. You can also hit that join button too. All helps in keeping this channel alive and well. But until next time, my friends,